Right, I think we're live now. Yeah, we are live. I don't know if this is like I said. I don't know how this is all going to work. It's my first time doing it, so
Let's give it a try, mate.
have a go, brother. And that's all we can do. We've got someone viewing up, so let's have a look at the comments. Oh, comments. But yeah, how you been though? You all good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just healing up.
Yeah, yeah,
Face,
heating up nicely.
face is a
Cough.
little bit.
Fuck.
Up.
Oh mate, you look like you've been stung by a bee, bro. What the fuck?
um,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, mate. Yeah, that's fucking. Oh. Yeah,
healing
to be
up.
fair though, you cut worse more than anyone in Bkfc, didn't you? Really? I've,
Yeah, man. There's the scar tissue on my face. I mean, to be fair, you can't fight the way that I fight and not expect it to happen. So it's like,
yeah.
um,
So yeah. So right. So now that we can see that it's all working, we've got someone in the chat. So I'll start off. So what's your thoughts on the fight?
I mean, personally, obviously, I thought I got the decision. I thought,
Yeah.
I pretty much bossed the fight.
Yeah.
That's not to take anything away from Tony. Tony put a hell of a fight in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he stuck in there. He caught me some good shots, and to be
Yeah.
honest, like watching it back now on TV, man, I was ripping some body shots in.
Yeah.
And
You was hurting him, man. You was hurting him. There was times in there I was screaming at my phone. I was kept saying, Tyler, he's fucking hurt. He don't want it. He don't want it no more. But obviously, he just kept trying to hold on, didn't he? And it's
I mean,
so hard to fight someone like that.
you can't. I mean, you can't take it away from him. Like I say, I really dug some body shots into him, and he stuck in there, man. There was times where he's in his corner and his head down, and his trainer were like, "Fucking get out there."
Yeah. You
And,
can see him, mate. He was about ready to quit in the corner at times, man. If he
yeah,
weren't for his corner shouting at him like that, I don't think he would have got up. If I'm being honest.
but like hats off to him, man. He got out there, and he sucked it up. He got out there and carried on. So.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, it was a brilliant fight. Like I said, it got fight of the night as well, which was well deserved.
Yeah.
I've said it as fucking everyone else has that. I believe you won that fight. I would have. I mean, out of the rounds, I reckon he won the first round, hence where all the damage come from.
Yeah.
And then I'd say you nicked the middle rounds, and then the fifth round could have been either way. So either way, I would have gave it a 3-2 in your decision. Could have been a 4-1, but I'm pretty generous. So, but this is the fight game, mate. This is what happens, and like you said, he's a hometown boy. When let's get the fight happen in Miami and see what the judging's like then. But
I mean, like from my point of view, like I say, watching it back, first round, I cut super easy, man. Like I was speaking to Dave Feldman afterwards, and he was just like, "A sharp gust of wind would slice you open, man." It's just that's the way it is. But I sort of feel like the judges are sort of marking fight a little bit against the damage, which is quite frustrating because although I do take I do open up easily, like it doesn't bother me. You can see me go to doctors, and I'm like, look, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, the blood gets in your eyes, and it's a bit of a nuisance, but
Cool.
I deal with it the best I can, and just get on. But yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but I feel like the judges perhaps mark that against me a little bit, really.
And the thing is, I had this argument with a few people on one of BKFC's posts, and they were saying, look, they was talking about the damage, and I said, look, damage doesn't win a fight. I said all that damage was done in the first round.
Yeah.
I said, all right, Tyler lost the first round. What about the rest of the rounds? He was already damaged at that point. Like I kept having this argument with people, but people just can't seem to grasp the fact that because you was cut, you'd lost. It's like that's not how fighting works.
No, that's not. It's and like I say, especially when I've got the scar tissue that I've got. Me go, he's like Nate Diaz. I go into a fight fully aware that I'm gonna bleed. Like it's gonna, the shot that opened up the cuts. It wasn't like I ever got rocked in the fight or anything like that. Literally, jabs or small little hooks
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is bare knuckle. This is the difference between bare knuckle and
Yeah.
MMA, boxing, the others.
Definitely, and I can say as well, like it's people might just look at the cuts and be like, no, it's just a cut, like because they're not in there experiencing it. And I experienced a cut in my last fight, and I ain't gonna lie, it threw me off my game plan. First time ever being cut under the eye and having the blood stream into your eye, it fucks with your vision. It does fuck with your vision. That's why in my fight, I got caught with that shot early on, and then I sort of kind of had to go on the back foot a little bit for the rest of the round so I could get to the corner, get it fixed up, and then go back again. But people don't understand that because they've never been through it. It's not just a case of having a cut there and say, oh, it's blood. It actually is affecting your vision.
Oh man, it's. I mean, it's almost like a good thing that it's happened to me so many times now, but it doesn't well me. I know how to deal with it, but like you say, when it happens to you for the first time, mate, you're temporarily blinded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
got some guy trying to take your head off bare knuckle while being blind.
It's not fun at all. But so now that that's all done and dusty, what's next for you? What do you want to do next?
Well, like for me, I mean, it's got to be an immediate rematch. That's what I've told my team, and my team said to me, and we've said it to Dave Feldman, and it makes sense, man. Like I say, to have it over in my new hometown of Miami now. I mean, it was an amazing fight. I think it's going to be up there for one of the fights of the year. So let's have it again. Like, why not? You know what I mean? And then if it's another great fight, let's have it a third time. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. That's it. It's the end of the day. When you're creating fights like that, there's no winner or losers, is there? The fans win. That's the main thing. It's all about entertaining, isn't it? And it's those kind of fights people want to see. People don't care if there's a winner or a loser. Really, it's just that fight will be spoken about for ages, and that's what you want, really, isn't it? You want fights like that.
And I feel like obviously mine and Tony's styles gel very much. You fights where their styles just don't gel, and it'll be a very boring fight. But mine and Tony's styles gel really well together. So why wouldn't we, want to make that fight happen again? It'll be an amazing fight, and like I say, if we can have it here in Miami, I've gone to his town and done it. So
come here. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll tell you something I noticed in your last fight that you was doing really well. He was working very well in the clinch. Like I said, that's where you was doing some damaging body shots in that clinch. And the thing is, I noticed as well, where he was trying to grab hold of you, your arms are up here, drop one down there all day long, and it was, you could see clearly how it was doing the damage. And I really loved how you've done that in the fight. Like, I don't know if anyone spotted that out or anything, but that was one of the things I noticed, how your clinch game's evolved, considering we both come back from BKB where that's not allowed. So we've had to adapt to learning how to fight in the clinch, and you've seen how well you adapted to that.
Yeah, it's one of them where, that was my fourth fight with Bkfc. I think the thing is, it's just experience at the end of the day. It's just because for us, coming from a boxing background, then going to BKB, it's not so much even defending the clinch. It's looking to use it yourself. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, coming from a boxing background, you can't do that. So it was like, even in sparring and stuff like that, I never looked to use the clinch, but I am now. And if you can use it well, it's a weapon, man. So it's
it is. So obviously, so everyone knows you're living in Miami, training in Miami. What's that like? That's got to be fucking. That's a dream, isn't it? Surely.
Oh mate, it's I mean, one, I'm living in Miami. It's beautiful weather, beautiful women, beautiful place. But secondly, I get to train with Luis Palomino. I get to train with his coach Eric LT Castellanos. And at their gym, it's just an incredible gym. Like even this week, I want to go back in the gym and see everyone. It's such like a proper family, man. I'm training with Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, South Americans.
The toughest of the tough, really, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's an amazing experience. I'm really, really enjoying just the experience of it all. Like I say, getting to train with so many different people from all over the world. You know, I'm blessed, man. Like I say, you know, I didn't get the decision Friday. It was an amazing fight, but I'm living the dream, man. I really am. I'm getting to do what I love, getting to be in amazing fights with, you know, that are entertaining the fans. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So are you working then, or are you just training full time?
So I've been out here for about 3 months now, and I was meant to fight about 6-7 weeks ago on the Del Rey card. That didn't happen, and it rolled over to this one. I'm now going to be looking to get like a little job in a gym, ticking over as a personal trainer. That's what I've done back in England. I love coaching people. I have a real passion for it. So, and I'm actually going to be trying to do. Get into like a little bit of film stuff and things like that, a bit of modelling perhaps. To be honest with you, there's just so many opportunities out here. I'm just going to take them as they come. I'm going to, you know, everything's an opportunity. I'm just going to grab it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because I've seen Lewis has done a bit of film stuff, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure he has. Yeah. So there you go. Then you've got all the connections where you need it. Do you know what I mean? You're bound to get help somewhere along the line, ain't you? But actually, that does bring me to one of my questions. So obviously, you fought Luis Palomino. You went over there by yourself. You fought him with no corner team, and then because you had a little bit of bad blood leading up to that fight, like most fighters do. It's entertainment, and it's selling the fight. But then obviously you had the fight, and now you have become really good friends, and he's helped you get over to Miami. He's helped you with the sponsors and stuff like that. But while all that's happening, is there a potential fact that you two might actually fight again?
No. So with him, obviously, he's like my mentor slash now. I mean, he's got the belt at 155 and 165. He's sort of saying now that he's going to concentrate on the 165. So, you know, there's going to vacate the title, and then obviously that opens that for other people, for me, for myself to go for it again. And yeah, I'm just learning from him, man. I'm learning from him, obviously in the ring, but he's just helping me in life as well. Like, he's really helped me a lot in my personal life and that as well. Like I say, I'm just blessed, man. I've got a really, really good team out here.
Yeah. You were struggling a little while back as well, weren't you, with your mental health, and you actually flew back to England, didn't you, for a little bit? So so obviously, what kind of went on there, and how did you sort yourself back out again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know much about it, Jack, but like in the last sort of 3 years, well, 4 years now, I lost seeing my daughter.
Yeah, I know about it. Yeah,
daughter for like 4 years now, and to be completely honest with you, mate, I went off the rails. And you know, everyone see me smoking, drinking, all the women, the porn stuff. And at the time, you know, I was just doing my best to you know, sort of hide from reality, really. You know, it was just escape, man. Trying to escape from it. And to be honest, mate, it just caught up with me in the end. Do you know what I mean? It really did. It caught up with me. And like, I come here like the first. What's happening, my brother?
You good?
Yeah, man. I'm good.
You did good.
Yeah, thank you, man.
But you left to the fucking judges.
Never leave. So, yeah, you know, I come over here in Miami, and I sort of thought that was the answer to all my problems at the start of the year. Over Christmas, I was here on my own, and it just come crashing down on me, mate. The last sort of 3 years just caught up with me, how I've just been, like I say, using drugs, drinking, smoking, women, and it tore my mental health to bits. I was really, really in a bad place, and it was like it was really disappointing for me to have to, you know, sort of hold my hands up and say, look, I need help. I've got to fly back home. It was almost like taking a big L in my life. But I come back, and I got some help. I was around my family for a while, and just fixed myself, got myself better, and then flew back out to Miami. And I've not looked back, mate. To be honest, I feel great. You know, I'm sober. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I'm just doing everything right, to tell you the truth.
That's good, mate. It's good. And the thing is as well, obviously, without having all that stuff going on in your personal life, trying to get yourself mentally prepared for a fight, I think can be a lot harder than physically getting yourself prepared for a fight. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we've been doing it pretty much all our lives, going to the gym every day, being put through a hard workout. We don't think nothing of it. But with the psychological side of things, getting yourself mentally prepared. I mean, I've said it to a few people that I can wake up in the morning feeling brand new, in the best mood ever, go to the gym, have a brilliant workout, come out of the gym, drive home feeling shit, worried about the fight and stuff like that. And it's just so mad how your mental health and stuff like that can come into effect, especially getting ready for a fight. And then obviously having all your personal stuff go on as well. People just don't understand how hard that can be, really, do they?
Yeah, I think like for me, it was like it was like I was alright when I was training for a fight because I had something to concentrate on. I had that purpose, the motivation, and stuff like that. And when I didn't fight, that's when I would turn to drink, the drugs, the women. I'll be searching for my highs in a different way because I was getting such a high from training every day, and I've got this fight coming up, and social media, people are talking about your fight and the buzz. You're on a high, but so like even in this stage where I am now, like like I said to you, I'm happy, but I'm very, very self-aware that this is quite a dangerous time for me where I've just come off a fight. I'm on a high. There's going to be an inevitable crash at some point, and that's where I can't be turning to drink, drugs that I have done in my past, to be fair to myself. Like, I have done that before, So, I think...
What's happened there? Signal gone? Tyler, you there? What's happened?
And just facing it head on. Do you know what I mean? Like, there'll be
people
who have got, there'll be people out there with lots of problems, but they're drinking every day, and they think that it's all right to drink, and at some point it will come crashing. It will come crashing down, like.
Of course,
But
well, I think as well where because I've taken a big step now, only working part time, so I can concentrate fully on fighting and getting myself prepared and stuff like that. But the one thing I have found with doing that is that you want to fight regular, and the fights just don't come regular, do they?
No.
And I'm finding it really hard to adjust to that because like I'm living like a very, very limited way of living, and I'm not used to that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not used to being able to go, I can't afford to buy that. I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to go out for something to eat. And it's like I'm finding it really frustrating because I've had fights like last year. I had 7 fights all fall through.
Yeah.
And then I finally got the fight that I just had, and even then that nearly fell through because I had 6 different opponent changes.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to be fighting on the 1st of July in Newcastle. They've pulled me off of that to now put me onto a show. They said it was going to be in August.
Right.
And now that show might not be happening. It might be happening in September. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? I need something on that. I'm living this way so I can fight and train full time, and it's just it fucks with your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, God, 100%. Yeah, you need something set in stone. You need a target at the end of the day. Just saying, oh yeah, you may be fighting in August, September. That's no good. You need it. You need it set in stone. I completely get that, mate. It's and the thing is, with being at this level, like you need to be training as much as you can, but not only that, you need to be resting as much as you can as well. So
of course,
100% into your next session. That's with this last camp that I've done there, like when I wasn't training, I was literally sleeping. I was resting, getting prepared for my next session, and that's something again that I don't think people really realise. That if you train as hard as we do, like
it's
so important.
The recoveries.
You can't be out working hours and hours because you're just not rested.
No, that's the thing. And that's what I was doing all last year. I was working. I was getting up at 4:30 every morning, traveling to the gym, being in the gym for 5, training for an hour, shooting off to work, and then doing a 10-hour day, and then trying to get something done in the evening as well, like a run or something like that. And it was burning me out. So that's why after Christmas, I decided to take the time off of work and train full time. I'm a full-time fighter, and the only problem is I'm not getting the fucking fights.
Yeah, man. People knows how hard the fight game is. It's just like, you know, before this fight, I hadn't fought for 10 months. So you know, it was tough for me. I was trying to make ends meet out here in Miami as well. You know, I've got sponsors who obviously want to see me fight. You know, so yeah, it's a hard game in and out of the ring, mate. That's for sure.
It is. It's like I said. It's mental as well as it is physical, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, so there's another fight card on in there next week. What do you think of that? Something you're looking forward to as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, mate. I'm really enjoying the Bkfc at the minute. I mean, the Colorado card they had 2 weeks before mine.
Mate,
it was a mad card, and being out here in America, man, like I can only tell you, like Bkfc is massive, mate. Everyone out here, they love it. There's just no way that this sport won't be the biggest sport in the world in 5 years, because it's on an absolute meteoric rise at the minute. Everyone knows who Bkfc are. Everyone knows who the Bkfc fighters are. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. It just, you know, look, at the end of the day, it gives every fight fan what they want to see: knockouts, blood, action. Like, you know, for me, boxing is on the decline a little bit. Like, I don't even really watch anymore. I just find
I don't either.
Frustrating to watch for a lot of reasons. But like Bkfc, man, like you just can't deny how exciting it is.
Yeah, it's too much of an exciting sport to ignore. But I still feel like the bare knuckle scene isn't as big over in the UK as it is over in United States. I mean, even though they say that bare knuckle boxing started here and all that sort of stuff, you'd think it'd have a more of a following. But I mean, like you said, over there, everyone knows who the fighters are. I mean, I guarantee Luis Palomino will walk up the street and he'll be getting waves and hellos all the time. But if he come over here, walk up the street, no one would probably know who he is. Do you know what I mean? I still think a lot of people are stuck in their ways with the boxing, especially when it comes to this influencer boxing thing that's going on recently. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of money involved in that for them, but I think it's ruining the sport. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it ain't the way it used to be anymore.
Completely. I mean, I actually, you know, I've been actually caught up a little bit on the KSI card at the weekend and watched like the highlights of a few of the fights. It's like I say, mate, it's just celebrity boxing. It's like the technique, like the level of skill on show is just, it's not very good at all. Like,
no, it's not.
In the air, swinging. It's just sticking a pair of gloves on a well-known person. That's all it is. When I say well-known, that I didn't actually know any of them, but like 13, 14-year-old kids, they're well-known, I suppose. Like the KSI is fighting that Joe Fournier, who's just absolute garbage. And I mean, what was it, like 30 quid pay-per-view or something? Someone told me.
Yeah, it was something stupid like that, wasn't it?
Actually unbelievable. And you think, like, I mean, right now, boxing, the talent in boxing has never been better. With all the science, the nutrition, the available, boxing has never been any better. But there's going to be fighters out there who are super, super talented, who are never, ever going to get in the spotlight because of all this influencer shit that's taken over. So,
but you know what you say about how boxing's the best it's ever been because of all the science and stuff like that. And you go back in the day when it was George Foreman and all those kind of guys, they used to fight 15 rounds and have absolute wars. And they all basically, all they did was run, spar, bag work, press ups, sit ups, chin ups.
Yeah.
That was it pretty much. They didn't have all this fucking scientific shit. And look at the fights they put on. Do you know what I mean? I personally think a lot of those older fights are better to watch, especially in the standard one.
100%. I was chatting to some people in my dressing room on the night of my fight, and I said, a fight, probably my favourite fight of all time. Watch Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier 3 in Manila. The heat was like something outrageous, like 40 odd degrees or something, and they fought for 15 rounds and they punched the fuck out of each other.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And these are big blokes. These are big blokes. Can you imagine Anthony Joshua fighting somewhere like that, trying to fight 15 rounds? He'd be gassed out by the 8th round.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And like you say, like, it is true. Like, you know, they didn't have all the science. They literally just whacked a bag, sparring and running. And they were just fighting on heart, man. A lot of that was just heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It shows though how big the bare knuckle scene's getting for all of these big like pros and stuff like that trying to get involved in it. Now, obviously, everyone saw that. Well, everyone's seen that card before yours, the Colorado card. Luke Rockhold, Chad Mendes, Eddie Alvarez, all these lads, and then Conor McGregor making an appearance as well. I mean, imagine if Conor McGregor gets involved in BKFC.
Yeah, and I really do think he will one day. I think he will.
I think he will.
It's like for me, when I was obviously a professional boxer for 7 years, and towards the end, I mean, I lost my license as a boxer, but I was sort of falling out of love with it anyway. And the bare knuckle really like got me that motivation back, you know, because let's face it, there's that real element of fear there. So you're like, shit, I need to train hard. I need to do this. I need to do that. Because if not, I'm going to get fucking hurt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
For a lot of these fighters now coming from the UFC, like, you know, I mean, Luke Rockhold bitched out, in my opinion, but in his interviews beforehand, he was sort of saying where he'd had so many MMA fights, and this was like, this got the hunger back for him. Do you know what I mean? The motivation back, because this shit's real. Do you know what I mean? Like, found that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I mean, as well, we've got, I don't know if you've seen this going on Facebook or not, but you know that Ben Hatchett?
Yeah.
That's involved in bare knuckle. He's fighting Scott Dixon in Malta.
Right, okay. Right.
And obviously Scott Dixon was a big name in professional boxing. He's a big name out in Malta as well. And he's now taking the jump into bare knuckle as well. And I mean, I've been around Scott Dixon before. I've spent quite a lot of time in Malta on a training camp before, and he's a boy. He's a boy. I think he'll adapt to bare knuckle well. But yeah, it just shows like all these guys coming out of the woodworks that were fucking good pros getting involved in it, and it's giving, like you said, it's lighting that fire for them, which gloved boxing just doesn't seem to be doing for anyone right now.
No, it's you know, there's no real incentive to be a boxer anymore. You know, you've got to sell fucking loads of tickets to make fucking shit purse.
Yeah.
You know, like, people are going to be stepping straight into bare knuckle now. Like, do you know what? I fancy the look of this. Fair play.
Yeah, I mean, look at Tony Bellew when he said in that interview when people said about him seeing him fight on TV, fighting these big names, thinking he's got loads of money when he didn't have a pot to piss in. He said by the time his managers, his gym fees, his taxes, and all that stuff was taken off of his wage, he was left with about £6,000. And this man's fighting for world titles on a big stage on the fucking TV, and that's all he's getting paid. People don't see that side of it though. People don't see what goes on behind the scenes of glove boxing.
From my personal experience, I fought. I mean, I was 23. I fought a packed out O2 arena. I was the fight before Anthony Joshua. I fought for the English title against a 12-0 kid, and I made $4,500 out of that. Do you know what I mean? $4,500 fucking grand. I trained 10 weeks for that. That was before my manager's taking his bit, my cut man, and everything else. So I probably walked away with about $2,500-3,000 for a fucking 10-round title fight. Fucking chief support to Anthony Joshua, who must have been on fucking silly money. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? I would have earned more money working.
We'll put it this way: in my first bare knuckle fight for BKB, I managed to come away with $3,500.
Yeah.
By the time I'd sold all my tickets, I got my purse, and that's And that's a bare knuckle boxing match. That's fucking, mate. You ain't earning that in the pro game until you're 20-0 or fucking whatever. Do you know what I mean? Even then, probably won't be that much.
Disgusting. Like, I just don't say there's no real incentive to be a boxer anymore. I don't like. For me,
Yeah.
An amateur, I won the junior ABAs and everything else, and I turned pro very young at like 18, 19 with stars in my eyes. And then after 2 years, I was like, this game fucking shit, mate. There's nothing in this game. That it's only the promoters winning in this sport.
Yeah, now it's a case of, right, lads, if you want to be a boxer, go through the amateurs, be a good amateur, turn to bare knuckle. That's where the money is.
Yeah. It's true.
Because them good amateur boxers will make good. They make good bare knuckle fighters. Do you know what I mean? Because they're styled, they're in and out all the time, isn't they? And it makes for good bare knuckle boxing. But it's but yeah, I mean, like you said, like, with the pro stuff, I mean, the money's shit, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors that no one knows about. There's a lot of people getting paid to not perform, and do you know what I mean? We all know that goes on. It's fucking, but you don't get that in bare knuckle. It's real, and the beauty thing about bare knuckle is people go, you know, like if you lose a fight, people go, hey, he's done. What's he gonna do now? And it's like, nah, it ain't like that in bare knuckle. You lose a fight, you're straight back into the firing line. You don't. There ain't no politics in bare knuckle, which is brilliant.
Nah, I love that. That's it's made for real fighters at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly, mate. It's an up and coming sport, and but yeah, if there's anyone that you want to shout out to, mate, or anything like that on here while you got the chance.
My sponsors back home in England, Daniel Lawrence Plumbing and Heating. I mean that guy's really stuck behind me. I mean, like I say, it's been a hard couple of years in the fight game for me. You know, I've had to have shoulder surgery, so I had 15 months. Palomino fight to the James Lilly fight, I had 15 months out, straight back in against the 7-0 fighter, and then the James Lilly fight to the Soto fight, I've had to have 10 months out. You know, so, and these people have stuck behind me, supported me, believed in me. And Lawson Civil Engineering as well, they stuck by me. You know, without these sponsors, I just wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing. So I'm very grateful to have these people.
Yeah. That's good, mate. That's good. Well, like I said, we'll wrap it up there. It's been talking now for just over half hour now, so a good little chin wag. But yeah, mate. Yeah, I'll say it was really good to see you fight the other day, and we're looking forward to seeing you fight again. Like I said, you always bring a fucking good fight. Whether the decision doesn't go in your favour at all, you know it's going to be a good fight to watch. But yeah, mate. Yeah, like I said, so let us know when you're fighting again, mate, and I'll help you advertise it and all that stuff. And yeah, man. But yeah, it's been good speaking to you.
Well, all the best for your training, mate. I hope you get a fight date signed, sealed, delivered.
Fingers crossed, bro. Yeah.
So yeah, and then we'll catch up soon, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, Tyler.
Nice one, Jack. See you soon,
See
mate.
you soon, mate. Bye-bye. All right, so that was Tyler Goodjohn, everyone. Thank you for everyone jumping on. I mean, I know there's been a lot of chat going on in the comments. I've been seeing it, but I can't. Obviously, I'm having a conversation with Tyler, so I can't really speak to everyone on here. But yeah, thank you for everyone that was tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to try and get a few more bits like this done. Like I've said, I'm coming back onto YouTube, so this was my first video back. And I've said this time around, my channel is going to be about me, my family, and my fighting. Nothing else. That's it. I'm staying with that, and I'm not interested in anything else that goes on, especially on YouTube. So, but yeah, like I said, thank you for everyone for tuning in. I hope you're all good, and I'll speak to you all very soon.